Okay. Hello, guys. All right. I look rough. I know. This is a quickie, so I'll shave afterward. All right. I don't want you to think I don't shave every day. Uh, my eyes are kind of red today. Oh, yeah, they are. They're red. They don't look good. A lot of things going on. I just wanted to say, YouTube took down one of my videos from a year and a quarter ago. I believe it's last June, maybe October. I don't know. I don't get it. I didn't say anything. I went back and looked at it. It took me a while to find it. I couldn't figure it out, and they took it down. And I guess they give you strikes, and they go, "Well, don't worry, we're not going to give you a strike." Why? For telling the truth? I don't care. Give me a strike. You guys don't. They don't have any power on me. They don't have any power on you. I say what I'm going to say because once you start censoring yourself, it affects your physical health. So you have to tell the truth as much as you can. And you do have the reality of the police state with a gun to your head, that sort of thing. So try to tell the truth, and if they give you a strike in life, so what, The other thing is they're trying to start a war. Like I said this a long time ago. But the probability the United States goes to war. Let me get my glasses. These are $19 glasses I got. I got it 50% off from the $39. They're not bad. It's called $39glasses.com. And they can't take a punch though. You see, if you kind of sit on them a little, they get, so $19, 50% off. I said, I can't pass that up. And so I'm looking for some sunglasses there. And I just have to be conscious of how I treat them. You can't, they're not titanium. So, by the way, in America, we pay for our own glasses unless you have some super insurance, or if you're really poor, if you're like, you got Medicare, and they might give you glasses. I don't know. But in America, you have to go buy your own glasses. And I know elsewhere in the world, you don't. You don't get dental. We don't get dental when you get older. They go, we're not going to give you dental when you get older because we got to fix all your teeth. It costs too much money. Everybody will be there trying to get their teeth fixed, trying to get glasses. That costs too much. By the way, I doused all the big agencies in the federal government, the U.S. military, Social Security. Disability is part of Social Security over in this country. And half of it is stolen. Half. In the Pentagon, the budget, half of it is stolen right off the top. So when you're saying how much does the United States spend on its military budget, it's not $800 billion, it's $400 billion, because that's all we're getting, and it's because these families have been around, like General. It's not General Electric. It's a General Dynamics, I believe. It's out of St. Louis. And it's family owned, but they have a portion of it that's traded on the New York Stock Exchange, so it looks like it's public, but it's not. These families own this stuff, and they just rip everything off. And it's the dowsing says, God, the higher dimension is saying, oh, it's about 50%. Yeah, you're right. You always thought it was a scam, and it is a scam. And then they sacrifice our young men, and it's mostly men. It's not women dead on the battlefield, though in Kabul, a couple of women got killed in the last attack. So they're getting more and more exposed. But it's essentially young teenage boys they sacrifice for the Civil War, 500,000, World War I, World War II. These are all black magic ceremonies of sorcerers. And that's coming to an end. And that's what this is all about. That's why it's so mind-blowing. You go, well, this doesn't make sense. Yes, the stakes are so high. And that's why I'm more and more into the prayers that work. That's why I went into the dowsing of the prayers and trying to find those things from ancient history that our forefathers used against these sorcerers. All right? And they are trying to start a war with Ukraine and use it to attack Russia. They want to take over Russia. It's the same Bolsheviks that took it over the first time. And they're trying again. They lost it. And these people lost to Russia 500 years ago in a previous war, and they can't stand it. And the ethnic Russians in the KGB took Russia back. That's my theory. That's my theory. But essentially, Putin came out of the KGB. He's an ethnic Russian. He's a Christian. And they took it back. And they used the intelligence agency to do it. Will we have that? No. There are no Christians in the CIA anymore. There are just a very few. I went through it. The FBI and the Department of Justice, they systematically went through and got rid of all the Christians. They started doing this under Obama for the Pentagon. So we're dealing with rabid hate groups towards Christians and towards America. They don't like the Bill of Rights. They don't like the Mayflower Covenant, which I say it before, but it's more than that. But the covenant is one man, one vote. And that's from the one man means Enoch, definition of a man, which is man and woman. But they didn't give the women the vote on the Mayflower. But they got it later. I mean, the idea was you don't get to stuff the ballot box, the ruler at the top. That's the essential idea. And it disperses the power to the people, and then our representatives make decisions before us with their expertise. They make decisions on behalf of the people. Now they're using their black magic expertise against the people. And that's why that's why you get trannies, that 40-year-old man with hair on his chest, he's running the Department of Health or something. You saw him. He dresses up and he's at the hearings. It's really gross. And it's like they're chomping on a cigar. They go into the girls' room. This is where like 8-year-old girls are. This is like sick. You can't defend it. You can't defend this. It's not defensible. This is like an innate knowing of right and wrong. And you can't use your children as sacrifice to this beast that's running everything. I mean, the people got to realize that you can't defend it. And they're out there defending it. The college kids defend it. It's like, no, you can't defend it. You can say all the old people don't know what they're doing, but they do. They go, this is indefensible. And you go down through the whole list. That's all I wanted to say. I wanted to say that the odds of the United States going to war with Russia over the Ukraine is very low, like 5%. It's always low. And the only explanation is because the State Department is 100% for war with, and the CIA is helping the State Department try to go to war, or an aspect of the CIA. Because the CIA is an umbrella group, and there's many subgroups fighting each other within the CIA. It's kind of complicated, but it's all about sorcery. And it's all about what I started 5 or 6 years ago saying the demonic influence has been going down every year. I got to get this other point out too. There's important things I'm saying here. So we're not going to go to war with Ukraine because the U.S. military is not going to do it. This is the State Department trying to start a war, and then they're going to sick the Pentagon on it. And they're rewriting the stories in the newspaper. This is it. It's not it. All right? And I don't know how they're going to solve. There is a possibility and probability that Russia does fight Ukraine over Donbass, the Russian-speaking part of the Ukraine. They're Russians. There's a lot of them. It's too bad. It became a big mess. It was just like Armenia, under the Union of Soviet republics, the USSR, Stalin and group. They made a big mess of all these former countries, and there's a lot of Russian speakers in all of them, and they had a lot of power, the Russian speakers, in the previous republics. So that's kind of the mess, and it's still disintegrating. But Russia's thing is the Ukraine was given to, the Crimea was given to the Ukraine, like 80 years ago in an administrative decree. It wasn't, they're just trying to buy who gets the corn and rice and how many tractors do you get this month. And it was never that way. But the Crimea was always critical to ethnic Russians. It's part of their future. It's their warm water port. And they have a treaty, and Turkey's part of it. It's an international treaty, I believe. And the Bosporus is the little the little sliver of water between Istanbul and Constantinople, or Istanbul, Europe. It splits Europe and Asia together. And it's fairly narrow, but the Russian warships go in and out. Their cargo goes in and out. It's the trading thing. And the agreement is it can never be closed, essentially. And the Turks always say, we're going to close it. They kind of like, and the Russians said, no, you're not. And the Turks never have closed it. So it's very old and ancient, the relationships there. We don't know anything. You're going to see somebody talking next to you at Starbucks. They don't know anything. It's really ancient. The karma between these people. Now, these are ethnics like Bulgaria. They're the Bulgars. Well, the Bulgars with the Turk plug, and the Bulgars make up the, what do you call them, the Kara, you know who I'm talking about. And they went up to the north of the Caspian, and they run our banking system now. How's that for history? And they're the ones who are starting the war with Russia with American troops because they don't care. It's part of the sacrifice, the blood sacrifice. This is all ending, but they're causing really white hair moments for all of us. You're not getting the truth at all about what's going on there. And was it Turkestan? No. Uzbekistan, Turkestan. It's Turkestan, not Turkestan. It's another one. There's 5 of them, and I used to know them. The one where the revolution is going, that we did it. We're doing that. That's the CIA, and I doused it. It said the CIA is doing it. Russia knows it. Everyone knows it, except for the American people. We don't know it because Blinken and all that really, he has a Rottweiler that was in power during Obama's time, and God, I forget her name too. I know I say it all the time. She got promoted, and she's like number 2 or 3 at the State Department, and she wants war. Vicky Nuland, and her husband works for the Heritage, and he's also a warmonger, and he writes papers for going to war with Russia. It's Russia should be our ally to contain China, but we're preventing that by these people, and it's a small group of people. Kissinger, he's for war with Russia. He's with that group, and they don't care. Russia has 6,000 nuclear warheads. They don't care. They don't care that we have 5,000 nuclear warheads. They want us to use them. They don't care. They want Russia. Russia is more of a prize to them than the United States. And they took the United States. And you go, why is that? Well, it's getting close to their ancestral homeland, which we don't know anything about, because it's illegal to write about it. But once in a while, information gets through. And that's all I wanted to say. I wanted to say those things. I don't think we'll go to war with Russia over the Ukraine. And Putin took Kurdastan, that's what it is, Kurdastan, back into his corner. That belongs to Russia. It was always part of Russia, and we tried to take it last week. And they're not. Now, I think he sent troops in, and there's all sorts of mercenaries there, and a lot of them got captured. And I think that's Kurdastan is going to go back into his pocket where it belongs. I mean, it's a part of their influence. It's like us. It's like Russia going in and taking Canada. You know what I mean? It's right on their border. Nah, you can't do that. And that's that. Okay, thank you very much. I think that's interesting. Lot of have come. I was attacked by some demons in my sleep the other week ago, and they're still around. But I guess I was able to fight them off. And I thought I was going to be like a fireman or a president of a bank in Manhattan when I grew up, and now I think your battles are brought to you in life in many ways. You see these things and it's not based on your decisions. Even though, like in New Age, people say, "Oh, it's all your karma." No, it's not. It's not all your karma. When a plane goes down, like those people in that one flight, there was like 250 people. You remember that? And about a third, it was karma. But the other people, they weren't supposed to check out then. That's mind-boggling. Your free will is being usurped by a lot of these groups that use demonic powers. Now, the other thing, before I go, I did douse that. You remember I said the United States went down to a 0? It used to be a 5 during John F. Kennedy's time, and through the 60s we're always a 5, even though civil rights and all that. Americans were decent people. All colors were decent. That's what the 5 is about. It's Illuminati. It's a luminosity energy of the people. It's a reflection of the people. That's what I'm measuring. And we went, bam, we went down to a 0. Totally satanic, total Luciferian. And we'll wrap this up fast, but if I don't have, I might freeze. It's going to freeze me. I have to hurry up and do this. I have to hurry up. What is it right now? There's one. It's like 3/4 of one unit. 3/4 of one star. We used to be 5-star. We're off the mat. We were down for the count. Now we're off the mat. Light is coming back. Light is coming back. Remember that. And this is one way of many ways. You can observe it out in our culture. Light is coming back. CNN, a lot of these people are being fired. Well, I said it 5 years ago. I'm a little soon, but they're going to get removed. All these people are getting removed. Our culture is going to swing back. We're going to start being nice to each other. We're going to have manners. We're not going to eat with our hands at the dinner table anymore. We're going to use a fork. Okay? Thank you. Bye-bye.